All right. So I believe that every game from this show match will go to YouTube. I don't know, though. Okay? So if this goes to YouTube in whatever format, welcome. We have a ton of people here watching on Twitch, and I'm really excited for this. Before we start, officially, thank you again to Leadcore for organizing this, the host of Two Pools. And when I casted the Two Pools tournament, again, I forget the timeline, I think a year ago, it was so cool. So each team picked Pool 1 civilizations. They picked 7 civilizations for Pool 1, and then they picked 7 civilizations to give to the enemy team. TaToH, he's playing as the Vietnamese, as you can see. He knows where the enemy TCs are, that's the Vietnamese bonus. And he's already signaled that to his teammate, TheViper, who is playing as the Khmer here. Actually, wait, he's playing as the Franks. Viper, don't you know people cast this? You're just confusing the viewers. Against Viper is Hera. Hera is playing as the Teutons. This was a Pool 2 civilization. And... oh, I just remembered, Viper actually could pick Khmer. They have Khmer, but anyways, we'll see how Hera uses Teutons in a competitive game. And then Liereyy, or Larry, his teammate, who is doing what with his sheep right now? What? Okay. He's playing as the Japanese. So Vietnamese Franks is as common a pick as it gets. You'll have the Vietnamese player go archers. You'll have Franks go scouts into knights. That is the meta. Ooh. Oh, guys. Viper is going for the low elo legend strategy. And now you guys are never going to believe me when I tell you not to get into the habit of chopping straggler trees. I swear to God, man, he does these things because he knows that it will make me look bad. So actually with Franks, this was a build that players started with back in, well, whenever Franks were changed, because they have the forge bonus, so he wants to be up ultra fast. But now people are going to justify their own straggler tree chopping because of this one game from Viper. Oh, man. Honestly, it does kind of make sense in this situation if you want a fast up. Interesting flexibility from Viper. But I talked about the Franks, I talked about the Vietnamese. Vietnamese will go archers, into crossbows, into arbalest. That's the ideal. Franks, scouts, into knights, into cavalier, into paladin. Everything streamlined. Archer ranges, or stables. Teutons. Do they go scouts into knights that don't get husbandry? They do get paladin, but their knights will be slower. Japanese. They're not going to go infantry the whole game. So it's probably going to be archers from Liereyy. But I just don't know. That's my point. So when you look at these games throughout this show match, think about not what's happening now, but what will happen in the future. What does one attack lead to in the next stage of the game? And I think Arabia, if you were to pick some of the best civs for Arabia, you'd be looking at Franks, Vietnamese. Or, no, sorry, Franks, Ethiopians. Franks, Britons. Franks, Mayans, because you want Franks, you want archers. So I think that we might see a completely different game plan. What I'm getting at here is that if Hera and Liereyy try to play with some structure, the structure won't be as good. So I don't think they can play scouts and archers. I think they need to switch it up. Hera is walling early, which tells me he will do something different. And Liereyy is also building a barracks and sending a villager to gold, which tells me he will go for a drush. It's also worth noting that you cannot, sling in this. So originally what happened when the concept of two pools was brought up, players would just sling all of their resources to the stronger civ. So Hera here, for example, would go feudal age, build a market, and sling resources, send resources to Liereyy. And then it got pretty boring. So you cannot send resources to your ally until you're in the Imperial Age in these games. Alright. Well, I'm waiting to see what TaToH will do. TaToH's getting Loom. Okay, this looks like Man-at-Arms into Archers from him. And honestly, this could be kind of good for Liereyy. Because in an ideal scenario, if you're going Drush, which is what Lierey's doing, a Dark Age Rush, if you're full walling your base, what you want is time. And you also want to trade versus whatever your opponent's going to make. So if Liereyy can force a fight against whatever militia TaToH's going for, if TaToH goes for them, can be very good, because TaToH wants to upgrade them, then they'll be dead or weak, and Liereyy will still be sitting at home safe.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe Hera is going for scouts. He just decided to wall nice and early. Viper, he's definitely going for scouts. He's also walling. Yeah, so you'll see walls in team games because there's 2 people that can double you, so you have to make sure you're secure. I think TaToH was originally going for man-at-arms, but then saw the drush, he scouted that drush, and is now deciding against it. So here's the question that's just come up for me. Will there be a 2v1 scenario on Liereyy or Hera? Because Liereyy is not contributing anything to Feudal Age. He wants to fast castle. So that means there will be 2 Feudal Age armies for Secret. And there will be 1 Feudal Age army, I assume, for Aftermath. And that's got to be Hera going scouts, right? Yep. So Hera is stable. Viper stable. TaToH cannot build ranges yet. And now TaToH's ranges. Liereyy is insanely technical. So with this type of a build, which he tends to do perfectly, he can be really dangerous with fast crossbows. So he's just now on his way to Feudal. Faru brings up an excellent point. You do have to think about the other... Oh, is this going to be a gate or a quick wall? Whoa! Did you see that scout twirl around? Okay, so no quick wall for TaToH. But in a best of 7, you have to consider what civilizations you want for all the maps. And there is a water map. So picking Japanese here and losing would really hurt if you felt like you would need Japanese for the water maps. Alright, Hera's sending his scout this way. Where is he going? What? Hello? Hera's here to help, but Viper's chasing that down. All Lierey's doing is buying time. All he's doing is buying time. And you see Liereyy signaling, saying, I'm going this way. Hera is blind to this. Hera doesn't know exactly where his teammate's at, and I guess his scout will eventually die. There are some reinforcements, though, right? Here's a reinforcement from Hera. I'll zoom back out here with this resolution, which I really like for casting. But when this gets cleaned up, if this gets cleaned up, it's all about what Team Secret does to Liereyy or Hera. Because Liereyy can't fight on his own. Hera can't fight on his own. And TaToH loses his scout. Viper's losing some HP. And honestly, this is really good. This drush has bought so much time. It's bought minutes. Alright, you see the signals from both teams. It's actually... No, you see the signals from Aftermath right now. Not from both teams. Now, Hera does his best. Hera will need to get out of here. Frank's scouts have more HP. And, okay, now, this is where it gets interesting. Liereyy, he's about to click up to Castle Age. He's getting very close. He just needs a bit more food. He will not have as many archers as TaToH. And if TaToH goes over to Hera with Viper, who already has the scout lead, this is where it gets risky. So this is what I expect to happen. Hera will recognize that he's going to be doubled. So he's going to overmake scouts, or he's going to make more scouts so he can hold from that. And then, oh, there's a pause now from Khmer or Viper. And it all comes down to how well he can hold. TaToH's going to need some stellar defense against the crossbows that eventually come. I don't like his walling. Well, he hasn't really walled at all. He'll be exposed. Alright, Hera sees an archer. Hera will come very close to killing an archer, but he ends up losing a scout. Alright, sorry about the speed there. Especially if players pause, the speed bug just continues to happen for me. You guys don't see it, but I have to constantly click the speed here. Kinda sucks. Okay, so I think Hera did a good job. He needs to just prep walls. And now, Secret want Liereyy to come here. Because if Liereyy goes to TaToH, TaToH could die. Like, Liereyy is 70% of the way to Castle Age. So, whatever aggression they have now at Hera's base, it needs to be enough where Hera says, "Save me, Liereyy. Like, come help, or I'm dead." And honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. Just wall behind if you're Hera. Now, the alternative was they could have gone over to Lierey's base, but Liereyy is so well walled and compact here. I think that's danger. And where's Liereyy going? He's going over to TaToH. Have to say, though, he'll be in Castle Age at 16 minutes, 18 seconds, and he'll already have crossbow on the way. Like a sick build from Liereyy. The drush, guys, he drushed. He made 3 militia in Dark Age, bought minutes, and now is in Castle Age at 16 minutes. That's crazy. And Liereyy says he's here. Now, if TaToH can trade versus this somehow, or defend from this, it's important. Because his numbers are really, really high. So he has this many archers at home, and he has this many that many archers forward and this many archers at home. So if they hold on to the numbers that they have, Secret could be in a good position. Okay, Hera is accompanying TaToH. Or not TaToH, sorry, Liereyy. And TaToH is walled a bit. Where did Viper send those scouts to, guys? Do you see them? Okay, he's over here. But Viper has just now clicked up to Castle Age, so he's actually behind Hera's uptime. So, actually what went down here is Secret invested into a lot more military and feudal, and Aftermath were just going for the faster castle. Wait, hole where? Hole where? Hole where? Oh my god! Where was the hole? How is there a hole? Oh my god! Oh, Liereyy has gotta be so tilted. So the military pays off. Hey, don't call me blind. Call Liereyy blind. I guess it's just my emote. Oh, that hurts so much. They're not doing any damage to TaToH right now. That could honestly... I mean, it might not be the game, but that changes the game so much from here. Oh my word. That's so bad. Wait, so where was it? Here? Was it here? Above the house? You gotta check those things. Like, you do realize how virtually flawless Liereyy was up to that point. Hera just lost Seville. But, like, virtually flawless. And then with one hole in his wall, which he now finds, he's way behind. Whew. You literally showed the stream when Viper went in. Yeah, I figured because chat was freaking out. But I wasn't paying attention to that. I was looking at the villagers. I was looking to talk about the next thing. I never expected there to be a hole there. He had all that time to check. All you have to do, by the way, is just try and click a villager outside your walls. And then if you make it outside your walls, you know where the villager escaped, right? So you just plug the gap. Just click beyond. It's such a rookie mistake there. Obviously, pros have a lot of faith in their ability, and they should. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but you still should double check, I think. Just takes a few extra clicks. Okay. I mean, it was really hard to see. That does happen in Age of Empires. Okay, Lierey's at 36 vills. He was on a second TC nice and early, but he would be way ahead had he not taken those losses. Teutons know how to boom, and Hera is a boomer, despite being like 20 years old. So, honestly, this could be very possible for Aftermath to come back. Concern is that Viper, he is the better Knight Civ, so he's also going to 3 TCs. Teutons lack Husbandry, so if Viper gets Husbandry, his Knights will be so much faster. And then this big ball of archers from TaToH is also a big concern. But it's not like TaToH's Feudal Age was all that good economically. He's not in a position to go for TCs himself. So this is what I expect. I expect extreme army numbers from TaToH. Viper will have a crazy boom, and will very much have a 2v1 scenario on land in the middle. I say on land as if there's water here, but no, I mean, think about it. Hera can't compete with Viper's Knights, and Liereyy won't be able to really compete if he doesn't have enough Knights to accompany his crossbows, because he doesn't have, well, he has equal numbers of TaToH. So, Aftermath need to now hold. Does grid alignment mod help with holes? It does help, yeah. A lot of players use that. I don't use it for casting. I also don't use it for playing. But Viper already has full armor and attack on those knights. And this is Teutons. This is a pull 2 civ for this reason. They do not get husbandry. Give them husbandry, players would like to play with them a whole lot more often, trust me. Okay, Viper goes in alone, but he just loses rather a few scouts. And now Viper and TaToH have the hill. That's dangerous. Third town center now for Liereyy. Now, what I'm looking at is the vill count. 47 vills for Liereyy, 46 for TaToH. Imagine if Liereyy wouldn't have taken those losses. Like, the position that AM are in right now is literally the aftermath of that awful error earlier. And I'm trying to use bigger words than I should, and just completely falling flat. This is what I get for getting the second coffee. It's like... I don't know what I was going for there. I think Aftermath are in huge trouble. Look at the amount of knights that are going down here. Ballistics is in for TaToH. This gives Viper full map control elsewhere. Yeah, I was trying to say that, Poips. Calamitous, but it didn't work out in that sentence. Oh, man. See, this is when things are streamlined, too. I talked about it. What will Franks do all game? Knights. What will Vietnamese do all game? Archers. So you need to get ahead if things aren't streamlined for you. Like, Hera's the one here who can't streamline things that well with Teutons. He might need to switch into, like, halberdiers and siege onagers or something really, really wacky. And so Viper says, oh, that's cute. You have palisade walls in Castle Age when all of your gold is behind here. Oh, okay. Don't mind if I do. I will walk right into your base. I think that's really bad from Hera. You know you're behind. You know you need to boom. You know they have more military. Why not stonewall or housewall that? Why not give yourself a chance? This could be good if they trap the army, but now you're off of gold. If you housewall there, you have another 30 seconds to a minute, and then Liereyy can come up from behind, then Hera can arrive from behind. Alright, interesting micro though. Very hard to judge these fights. Liereyy has more numbers, and TaToH's fighting without Viper close by. This is good for Liereyy, man. I mean, without that hole, Liereyy would have for sure been the MVP of this game, in my opinion. Now he has to come back. Now he has to show what he's made of after falling behind. Uh-oh. TaToH's over here on Lierey's wood line. Liereyy does not react immediately and loses a villager. And then I saw Viper was on the prowl at the front of Hera's base. Sorry about the speed yet again, thanks to E. It's interesting how they're just patrolling here. Like, they don't want to fight it yet. I feel like they could possibly fight this. Viper will loop around with just a few knights. I mean, why not? He's attacking the stable on the front from Hera. Why not? Liereyy and Hera do not want to engage up this hill, I guess. Yeah, they have to. They have to fight this. They have to fight this. And they do fight this. And it will come down to the knight buffer, I think. Yeah, okay. TaToH's army will go down. The big problem, though, is this. This is the big problem. Viper has already taken out one of Hera's stables. Viper has full control over the center. Hera has tons of idle villagers. So while they clear that up, TaToH has more where that comes from. Or where that came from, I guess. Both. Viper has 80 villagers. Hera has 76, but he's had a whole lot of idols.
Witty sub-messages at this point, I'm going to ask, what's the most embarrassing nickname you have been given so far in your life?
Most embarrassing nickname I've been given so far in my life. Most embarrassing nickname. I'll have to think about that one. Thank you, Vondius, who is now subbed to the stream for 40 months.
Hey guys, been a while.
Whoa!
Love less than 3.
Were you guys having a 40-month party or something? Soaring Ostrich, thank you for 40 months. No. T-Nizzle, no. Small Dick Rick, no. That wouldn't make any sense, because my name isn't Rick. Guys, Viper's already on the way up. Okay, so Liereyy and Hera need to engage versus Viper before Viper's an imp. Otherwise, this is big, big trouble. Small dick T90. I mean, that'd be a little bit more accurate. I mean, no, it's not, Lorena. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Why did I respond to that question? I like how Viper has the monk here, healing up his knights. And I think if Viper just castles this hill to secure that gold, it will be perfect for him. You see all the green. No, not all the green. Lierey's sending some over here to deal with TaToH. I mean, Liereyy, for all his walling, did a great job, well, with the exception of the hole. But he did wall out those golds, so that hill is going to be an absolute nightmare. Viper has 17 knights, Hera has 13, and Liereyy has crossbows. This is not a fight that Viper wants to take. He definitely needs and wants to castle that hill. I think Viper needs to bail. Yeah, I think he needs to bail. He should wait for his upgrades first. Wait for your upgrades, and then you can fight Viper. Or wait for TaToH to arrive, and TaToH's sending 10 units over. Not that much. Best thing you can do in Aftermath's position is just take out the stables. Hurt the production of Viper. Hera is also on the way to the Imperial Age. Impressive, if you ask me. Oh no, but Hera didn't expect Viper to just go to his base. Oh, and Hera will try and quick wall. He actually does quick wall, but now his production is going to suffer, right? Because he can't get those stable numbers up. And so now Hera's on the way back, and Viper says, oh, cool, well, now I'm getting my upgrades. So thanks for leaving my stables. Now I can produce more. I can probably take my hill. And Viper will never, ever take an engagement until he's ready. So, this is... You've seen the weakness of having Teutons as your Knight Civ, because they lack that extra speed. All pros say that if you give Teutons Husbandry, suddenly they're much better Civ in competitive play. It's pretty much the only thing, but... It's just one of those things, right? There's the castle. Viper's very confident. And I think we'll see trade soon, too. The markets will start going up for long-term trade. And we even see stonewalls. Honestly, guys, let me ask you a question. If the roles were reversed, do you think that Viper and TaToH could come back? If the roles were reversed, Viper was Hera, he was Teutons, and TaToH was Japanese, do you think that Secret would find a way? Yeah. I don't have the same amount of confidence in the Aftermath boys here. And but I will say that the way that Viper and TaToH would come back is by stalling the game out. And that's what Liereyy wanted with Stonewalls. But TaToH's already here. Viper's already here. Oh, Lierey's crossbows will go down. They don't stand a chance, and Viper already has Paladin on the way. Paladin is already on the way. Liereyy will just have Cavalier, or not Liereyy, sorry. I'm sorry, I've been all over the place here. Hera will just have Cavalier, he will not have the resources for Paladin. I just keep thinking back to this area. That hole. Where would Aftermath be if there wasn't a hole? Desperate gating attempts now, just to keep these units out. Hera is coming in on the other side. He is 27, Viper has 17, and TaToH's about to hit him, but I think the momentum here is just huge. Yeah, Hera will probably clean this up, but Lierey's population is below 100. You just don't come back from this. You just don't come back from this type of raid. Hera's their only hope now, and I think he'll be behind Viper. Right? 71 population for Liereyy. 69 population for Liereyy. He barely has any army. He barely has eco. He wants to stonewall here, but the snake slithers in. Oh, man. I mean, that was the play. The play was definitely fortify wall, start trade, and then, like, start that tech switch. Maybe get Paladins for Hera, eventually into Halbs, eventually into Siege Onagers. Hera does have a lot of military. He does have Paladin on the way. Here's the concern, though. Secret are starting trade already. They'll have more long-term gold income, And Viper already has Paladin. So, and also, Hera does not have Husbandry, which I have to continue to bring up. So he can't even run from fights. And also, half of his units won't path because he sent them into this small little hole. Oh, and they can't escape either. Okay, okay. Go ahead and run away. Oh, man. It's like Tootin' horses had one too many slices of pizza. They're so slow. And GG. In competitive age, you can't make the mistake that Liereyy did in the Dark Age, or Feudal Age, or Castle Age, actually. Whatever age it was. I'm not sure if they would have won. It would have been a very close game with different strategies and different civs. But, unfortunately, he had a hole in the wall, and that put them behind. I think they would have been in the lead. I really do. And I think if Lierey's ahead of TaToH, then it makes Hera's position with Teuton's less awkward against Viper. But Liereyy didn't wall his base properly. Crazy how cutthroat this game can be. Now, we have 5,000 people here. KD does not work. So, thanks DE. Hopefully that's fixed soon. I can tell you that Viper had a whole lot of kills. Don't worry, I'll be on the phone with Bill Gates after this. He said if we cross 5,000 viewers today, he would speak to me. Hera had more food and more gold collected, but he had too much to do. He wouldn't have had long-term resources because Viper would have had trade, and Viper had the better paladins. Clean play from Team Secret. A well-played Viper and well-played TaToH, and we will now move on to game number 2.